Echeverry. Present. Benton.
Present.
Louisville.
Present.
Frost. Grunberg.
Present.
Hand.
Present.
Hera. Herman.
Present.
Holmes.
Present.
Ross. Tellman.
Present.
Kennemore.
Present.
Lawless. Present. McDonald.
Present.
Meyer.
Present.
Bunnock. Nicholas.
Present.
Noel Williams. Robin.
Present.
Rusa.
Present.
Sanders.
Present.
Soto. Stone. Sturm.
Present.
Tetcher. No. Tetcher. Travis.
Present.
Vega.
Present.
Wise. Walters.
Present. Moving into approvals, I will now entertain a motion to approve the October 23rd, 2015 minutes. So moved by Sturm. Is there a second? Seconded by Rosua. Are there any objections?
Motion to add chief of staff under program report, Representative Travis for the record.
For the minutes from the last meeting?
For this.
Okay, so we're on the minutes from last meeting. Okay. So do you take back your objection? Okay. Moving into the October 30th, 2015 agenda, I will now entertain a motion to approve the October 30th, 2015 agenda. Motion by Rosua. Is there a second? Seconded by Barcinos. Are there any objections? Travis?
Motion to add chief of staff under program reports.
Is there a second? Seconded by Barr. Any objections? Seeing none, Chief of Staff report has now been added under program reports. Okay. Moving into the Assistant Dean and Director, Karen Murray. We have Karen Murray here from New Student Orientation and Transfer Transition Services.
Good afternoon. Where's your
You gotta stand at the podium there, yeah.
I just wanted to come down and take a few moments to say thank you to student government for so wholeheartedly participating in New Student Orientation this past summer. Are there any folks in the room that actually worked some of the events? Okay, so I didn't see you back there. Okay, well, particularly want to thank those of you who were with us throughout the summer, but also acknowledge those of you that weren't, who might be with us this coming summer. But we had an amazing orientation season. We oriented the largest class on record for Florida Atlantic University. We really controlled the melt. The melt is from the point of admission to actually enrolling. And I have to say, I feel like it had a lot to do with the strong student involvement we have in our orientation. It's not only our orientation leaders that are a part of the mix. It is, we had students from multiple student organizations infused in all parts of orientation. And I would say we have well over 100 students involved across the campus. And I think we have something very unique going on here for Atlantic. And I wanted to thank you for that. And Chris, I don't know if you would want to say anything about the experience you had, or if anybody else would like to share.
I mean, I'll just add that it was a great experience. It's one of my favorite parts being in student government, being able to participate in the orientation and welcoming everybody at the stadium. I'm sure there are a lot of the freshmen in the house probably saw me there. So it was a pleasure to welcome all of you to FAU and be part of welcoming Lawrence freshman class.
So we started the morning with a welcome from the president. Catherine did an amazing job getting students day off, and then Chris and others closed out the evening with them. So what you have there is a spin off of our campaign that we used to get our students to orientation. Our campaign is, how many of you had a card over the summer, the hashtag and Aldone for orientation? Well, that idea actually percolated out of some student government members, and that's how we have a flipped orientation. Our orientation is where everybody does stuff before they get here, register advice when you get here, we can just engage. So this was a thank you to everybody involved, so it's hashtag well done. And on the back side, you can see the numbers of students that we processed through this year. So we had 3,200 transfer students, 3,450 freshmen, 2,434 parents, 145 high school students that came in through FAU High, 44 states were represented. It says 95 countries. There was actually like 160 by the time we counted them all. We had 41 total orientation sessions between transfer and freshmen and 293 international students. So we just wanted to say thank you. Our evaluation results demonstrate that across the board, students increase their confidence about getting involved on campus, increase their confidence about using services like tutoring and SI on campus. And I just can't thank you enough and look forward to you being involved next year. So, thank you.
Nicole?
Representative Barcenas for the record, I motion to admit all House members.
Motion to admit all members. Is there a second? Seconded by Sanders. Any objections? Seeing none, all members have now been admitted. Moving into open forum, any members in the back wishing to speak will have 3 minutes per person, followed by 2 minutes for questions. Hey, Noah, how are you?
Go around for the record, Madam Speaker, Madam Secretary, Mr. Governor, representatives. Just wanted to go and wish you a happy homecoming week. It is a week that we not only commemorate the past of our university, but also aspire towards the future. On our founding in 1961, our original logo featured the phrase, tomorrow. Tomorrow we rise, tomorrow is now. And one of the things that we should do as a community is we tend to go and stay connected to our groups, our organizations that we're involved in on campus, our fraternities, our sororities, our residence halls, and we tend to go and stick close to those. What I encourage this house to do, not just Campus Action, but the entire house and the entire student government to do, is to reach out, not just only to our students, also to our faculty and staff, and taking this weekend to go and reach out to our alumni. If we can go and learn from our past and hear different perspectives coming from all people who are involved in this university, then we can go and aspire towards a better tomorrow and make this university a place that is unique, a place that is diverse, and a place that stands out throughout our state and our nation. I yield the rest of my time for questions.
Are there any questions for Noah? Seeing none, thank you, Noah.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else in the back wishing to speak for open forum? Anyone? Going once, going twice, gone. Okay, moving into in-house elections. First on the agenda, you will see that we have the in-house candidacy forum for Nicholas Bullock. Nick, you have 1 minute to speak about why you feel that you would like to join the House of Representatives, followed by questions.
Hey everybody, my name's Nick. I was in community council last year, actually with Chad, so we go back a little bit. I'm really just trying to get involved in some kind of organization on campus to help out students. And since I'm not in RSA community council this year, I'm really looking forward to A little bit about me, I'm actually from Maryland, so I'm not really a Florida local. I'm really an easygoing guy, easy to talk to. I do look forward to working with all of you, like you admitted in. I'm just looking to help change a few things around campus and school, make this place a better place, just like you guys. So.
Are there any questions for Nick Sturm?
Representative Sturm for the record. I guess my question for you is, are you a member of yeah?
Yes. So I am
Are there any other questions for Nick? Seeing none, thank you, Nick. You wanted to stand right here. Caitlin Jenkins.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Jenkins. I'm a political science major and I'm a senior here at FAU. I was previously involved with the House of Representatives from spring 2013 to fall 2014, and I served as secretary and legislative assistant. I left FAU for the spring 2014 semester because I went to do some college program so I can continue my role in the House of Representatives. But I was like just back into the House.
Are there any questions for Caitlin Sturm?
What was your most proudest moment in the House before you left?
I think being elected as a legislative assistant involved in my Hartford. I think
Are there any other questions for Caitlin? Seeing none, thank you, Caitlin. Ethan Fletcher.
Hey there, guys. My name is Ethan. This is my third year on campus here. I've seen this school grow a lot, and I would just like to contribute to that in any way possible. I feel like I can bring a unique perspective of being a member of a fraternity and also working and living on campus. So,
Are there any questions for Ethan? Cairo?
Representative Bauer, for the record, which fraternity are you in? Okay.
Are there any other questions for Ethan Sturm?
What would be the number one thing you like to accomplish in the House?
number one thing, really just improve student involvement. As I see, there's kind of a disconnect between organizations and getting more students. So I think that would like.
Cairo?
Do you have any relevant experience that you can bring to the House?
Not really. No.
Are there any other questions for Ethan? Seeing none, thank you, Ethan. Tatiana Small.
my name is Tatiana Small, and I've never been in student government, but I thought it was a great opportunity, and being a story maybe step on the comfort zone already, and then things like show me how to tell people. And I believe that I can help student development, well-being, and SGA, because like the students are the foundation of the school, and the students there is in the school. So, and as being part of the freshman class and the largest class in Inter at the U, I believe that it can all start now.
Thank you, Tatiana. Are there any questions for Tatiana? Any questions? Seeing none, thank you. Stern?
Motion to mail members.
Motion to that all members has been moved, seconded by Nicole. Are there any objections? Seeing none, all members have now been admitted. Justin Blount?
Hello, my name is Justin Blunt, and I'm a freshman here on campus, civil engineering major, and I'm currently president of Alpha Theta. One thing as a freshman I wanted to do was really get involved in campus, and I feel like student government is the best way to make an impact, because I believe one man is no man, working together really get things done.
Are there any questions for Dustin? Thank you, Dustin. I will now entertain a motion to vote on the first in-house candidate, Nicholas Bullock. Sturm,
I motion to vote on Nicholas Bullock by unanimous consent.
there's been a motion to vote on Nicholas Bullock by unanimous consent. Is there a second? Seconded by Barcinas. Are there any objections? Seeing none, welcome to the House, Nicholas. Stand up here. The governor will swear you in after all the voting is done. Moving into the second candidate, Caitlin Jenkins. I will now entertain a motion to vote on Caitlin Jenkins. Sturm?
I motion to vote on Caitlin Jenkins by unanimous consent.
Yeah, okay, what would your vote be by unanimous consent?
I'm sorry, what?
What would your vote be by unanimous consent? Vote to admit Caitlin?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a second? Seconded by Floorball. Are there any objections? Seeing none, welcome to the House, Caitlin. Next candidate we have is Ethan Fletcher. I will now entertain a motion to vote on Ethan Fletcher, moved by Joshua Meyer.
So moved by unanimous consent.
Okay, is there a second? Seconded by Sanders. Are there any objections? Seeing none, welcome to the House, Ethan. Moving on to Tatiana Small. I will now entertain a motion to vote on candidate Tatiana Small. Nicole, Barcinas.
Okay, I don't really know. I move to admit Tatiana Smalls by unanimous consent.
Okay, is there a second? Seconded by Alex. Are there any objections? Seeing none, welcome to the House, Tatiana. Okay, Justin Blunt. Right? I will now entertain a motion to vote on candidate Justin Blunt. Travis? Okay, is there a second? Seconded by Rosua. Are there any objections? Seeing none, welcome to the House, Justin. Governor Ferreira, do you mind swearing in our new House reps?
I'm not really. All right, will the five of you please line up from here to here? Okay, please face me and raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Nicholas Bullock,
Do hereby affirm to uphold the office of House of Representative
do hereby affirm to uphold the office of
and to abide by the Constitution of Student Government
and to abide by the Constitution of Student Government
of Florida Atlantic University,
Florida Atlantic University,
the statutes incorporated thereto,
the
statutes incorporated thereto,
and to strive for the betterment of the student body
to strive for the betterment of the student body
through which I was elected.
for which I was elected.
Congratulations.
Okay, moving into the governor's report. Governor Ferreira, you have 5 minutes, followed by 3 minutes for questions.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Welcome to the House, new people. Let me first, with your permission, can I hand out a flyer?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I don't have enough for everybody, but just to show you guys what we've been working on. we're advertising 3 positions, one for Parking and Appeals Committee, the other for House of Reps, since I know you guys are people, and one for the Boca Campus Marketing Director, because my marketing director graduates. So you can pass that around. So the Atlantic Shuttle will be featured in tomorrow's homecoming parade, and everyone of you guys are invited to ride on it if you like. I have to cap it at like 2025. So if you would like to be a part of that, please email me by tonight around 5:30. Last week, the Atlantic Shuttle was used.
Do you want to tell me your email?
Yeah, it's sgbocagov@fau.edu. Everybody got that? Last week, the shuttle was used by the FAU Navitas organization for a trip to Strikes Bowling Alley. This allowed great exposure for the shuttle, and a picture of them was placed on our social media. We have flyers printed for the Atlantic Shuttle, and my team and I will be working next week to put them up. If you'd like to help with that, please contact me at the email I just said. We will also be making a video next week to promote the Atlantic Shuttle. We're hoping to get some people from athletics involved in that. I held a GAC meeting today. That went really well. We were happy to have your rules and policies chair and Bear in there in attendance. I did an interview with the EP last week about the changes happening within Night Owls, so that should be released relatively soon. My treasurer has begun to analyze the survey data from the Chick-fil-A survey, and we'll get a report to you all as soon as that is done. The treasurer position has been posted, and marketing will be up soon. Both of the positions will be open for 2 weeks, so if you know anybody who is like a finance, accounting, like business major, please tell them about it. Same thing for marketing, graphic design experience is preferred, same with like video editing and Photoshop experience. Those applications can be found at jobs.fau.edu. Next, like the flyer says, I'm looking for students to serve on the Parking and Appeals Committee. So if you're interested or you have someone in mind, please let me know. I signed off on both the bills that were passed last week. I believe they're currently in President Edmonds' possession. I'll be writing a resolution this upcoming week breaking down and supporting the CRC amendments that were ratified by the student body in the fall election. And Annie has said that our rules and policies can help with that, so we'll be working on that together. Sometime next week, I'll be meeting with Stacy Bowling to discuss the following. That would be marketing space in the breezeway, creating lanes in the breezeway, a campus beautification project that I'm starting to work on, and placing floor stops for night owls on campus. That concludes my report. Before I yield the rest of my time for questions, Savvy Director Aaron Sherman will not be here via the short report he asked me to give to you all. This past Saturday at the homecoming day of service, they had 250 plus people attend. It was a successful event. Him and the Savvy staff are currently planning for the November 20th holiday party, and he's currently restructuring Savvy to a sort of similar structure to the program board with chairs and such. I yield the rest of my time for questions.
Are there any questions, Flourval?
Representative Flurbaugh, for the record, I was just wondering, what would be the purpose of lanes in the breezeway?
Okay, so I have like this kind of neat like social media challenge idea. It's called like Stick to Your Right. I talked about it in my campus address, and that was it. So what we're trying to do is basically get like a express lane through the breezeway, and students will be able it'll literally just be a line straight through the breezeway, and students will be able to like take a selfie with it and like post it on like social media with like the hashtag Stick to Your Right. And the hope is that this kind of creates like a sort of fun culture around like walking down the breezeway in an orderly manner.
Any questions, Stern?
Governor, how will you use your costume to accomplish your goal that you just mentioned in your speech?
I will. This is only for 2 days.
Are there any other questions for Governor Ferreira?
Yeah, that was brought up. What's the deal with the costume? I love it.
It's Halloween.
Really? It's not like really a condition follow. It's not even
No, it's just Halloween, and I wanted to like freak you all out.
Are there any other questions for Governor Travis?
Why are you not wearing a mask right now?
You want me to wear all that?
No, that's okay. All right, thank you.
Relevant questions, please.
Are there any other questions for Governor Ferreira?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Go Owls.
Moving into the president's report, Catherine is not here, but I believe if I haven't already this week, then I will forward you all Catherine's report. I did.
Yep.
I did forward it. It's in your email. Is there a POP? Oh, POP Kellerman. Vice President's report. Casey is not here as well, but he just made his report last week. If there are any updates that he emails me, I'll be sure to forward them to you all. Justice report, Khalil Ricketts here. Okay. Moving into program reports, SAVI, Multicultural Program, Program Board, PET, Night Owls, COSO, Marketing Director, Treasurer, and Chief of Staff. Anyone from the GAC wishing to speak, essentially?
Hi everyone, I'm the Governor's Chief of Staff, Kelsey Smith. Stress last week is in 17 days. So I just want to update you. This is a shirt that we are getting for Stress last week, and on the back is going to be the new updated FAU SG logo. And it says "Don't Hate Meditate" and it says colors. And we're ordering 300 of them, so 100 smallest, 100 medium, and 100 largest. And then this is going to be the flyer that we're going to be posting out in a few weeks once it's completely finished and updated. There's something going on every single day from November 16th to November 20th. The first day, we're doing like the massage chairs that Catherine ordered when she was governor, and it's going to be in Tradition Plaza. Then the 17th, we're doing a carnival day at the housing lawn, so it'll be a bunch of like fun rides and stuff, so come out and support. We also need a lot of volunteers, so if you're available and free, please email me at sg.boca.gov.chief@fau.edu. Wednesday, November 18th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is called Soup for Your Soul, so you can come and get chicken noodle soup or vegetable soup, so when you're studying for finals coming up the next week, after Thanksgiving, you guys can have some soup to relax you. And then November 19th, we're doing the painting night, so you can come and paint like little owl canvases. PET will be sponsoring it. And then Friday during the day, we're doing a relaxing day with hammocks that PET is also sponsoring. And we're doing a movie night as well. So and the movie is Vacation. And it's going to be BYOB, so bring your own blanket. So it'll be really cool. And I yield my time for questions.
Are there any questions for Kelsey? Seeing none, thank you, Kelsey.
Hi everyone, my name is Nick again, I'm the treasurer for the Boca campus. I wanted to update you, the account hasn't changed since last week. The bills, like Chris said, are in the president's hands right now, so as soon as you get them back, we can go ahead and move forward with them. So if you want me to read your balance, it's $66,822.22. That's all I really had to report on today. So you'll the rest of my time for questions.
Are there any questions for Treasurer Bloom? Seeing none, thank you, Nick.
Okay, and I have one more thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go.
For COSO, the associate director couldn't be here today, so she asked me to read a report on her behalf. So, let me go ahead and read it. So, Gabby Alvarado, associate director of COSO for the record. I'm sorry I cannot be here today, but I just wanted to report to you all that I gave my 2-week notice at COSO 2 weeks ago, and this past Tuesday was my last day as associate director. Before I leave, I'd love to thank a couple of you, Evan Harrell for helping us write this so unique and beautiful looking COSO Constitution. Nicole Barcenas for coming to the Monday meeting, even when it made you have to spend the class right after. And every single one of the House members that volunteered to get loud and have taken the time to approach us and help us. I'll still be around and I'll come visit often. Last but not least, I want to thank Marina for trusting me in her perfections and unbelievably amazing efforts to make COSO the best program yet. Thank you all again, Gabby.
Are there any other questions for Nicholas Bloom? Floor of all?
I move to admit all members.
A motion to admit all members on the floor. Is there a second? Seconded by Barcenas. Any objection? Seeing none. All members have now been admitted. Are there any questions for Nick Stern?
Treasurer, Representative Jeffrey Luckett, how much did the Boca House have on hand financially? Right now? As of right now, 66,822.22. That's before the bills are taken out. So the bills are kind of in limbo right now until the president signs off and we get them back.
All right, are there any other questions for Bloom? Seeing none, thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
Is there any, no more program reports? Okay. Moving into the Student Government Advisors Report, Danielle Kaufman, Boca Campus Graduate Assistant. You have 3 minutes to report, followed by 3 minutes for questions.
Awesome, perfect. Okay, for public notices, we need to make sure any public notice is 48 hours beforehand. And on the bulletin board by the front desk, we have a bulletin board only, not on that door anymore, it'll always be on that bulletin board. Does that make sense? Yes, thank you. And then printing, if you want to print anything regarding SG, involvement at FAU.edu, I gave an email a long time ago, but make sure you're one business day. Don't be like, I stretch an hour. One business day to print anything. Polos, Wizards said they should be done by Friday. Please stop asking me. I promise you, if I can make them, I'd make them right now for you, but Wizards does it for us. Committee meetings are crucial for you all. I'm in every committee meeting, so I see who's there and I see who's not there. This week was the first week starting absences, so make sure you're there next Friday and make sure if there is something wrong, send your committee chair like an excused absence. Make sure when you come to these meetings you're wearing business casual or your polo with jeans or khakis. That's when we start enforcing next week our parliamentarian. Training for in-house candidates. So my 5 new in-house candidates. I'm going to give my business card at the end of this meeting. You will be trained by next Friday. It will take about 30 to 40 minutes. Anytime this week I'm free, just shoot me an email when you're free. And then, the expo. That was this past Saturday when we had all of every student in the surrounding areas. They got invited if they had a 3.7 or higher. We had an awesome turnout. A lot of people came. They got a lot of promo items. And snaps for Kyle because he came and spent his entire Saturday with us. So thank you, Kyle.
Are there any questions for Danielle? Seeing none, thank you, Danielle. Allison,
Do we also have to put it in the binder?
Yes, yes. Put it on the bulletin board and the binder, or else there are no meeting can happen.
POP Sanders. Meyer.
I motion to cast aside Robert's rules for the duration of the parliamentarian procedure presentation.
There's been a motion to, is it so moved by anyone? Harrow, so moved by Harrow.
Seconded.
Is there a second? Seconded by Cowan. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we will now suspend Robert's Rules of Orders in order to do a really fun parliamentary procedure presentation.
I wouldn't call it fun, but it's gotta be done.
This is something that I deemed necessary after our last meeting, so we don't run into any issues in the future.
You guys have seen this, right?
Yeah, you have to exit out.
Sign out.
And exit out of the silence.
And everybody else.
Log out. No, it's a log out. It's like, you have to take an exam.
I don't know what that's.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
Not necessary.
I think I'm sure it has kids.
You're right. Sorry.
All right, so for those of you that were at the legislative training session, legislative workshop, you've already seen most of this. There has only been really one change since then, and that deals with how we're going to approach bills in our House meetings. So that'll actually be the section I go into most in depth. Otherwise, the rest is just going to be an overview. Why do we use Robert's rules? They are meant to bring order to a chaotic meeting. It's really just to make this meeting run as efficiently as possible. You see up there, 95% of organizations use them, and we actually adopt them in our Constitution. In the Constitution, and then our statutes revise them. Again, keeping order in chaos. We can kind of breeze through this. Again, it's really just to make the meetings run efficiently, make sure everyone is respectful of everyone else. No one's feelings gets hurt, everyone has an opportunity to speak. It's very straightforward. A little history of it, developed by General Henry Robert of the U.S. Corps of Engineers. Ultimately, he attended this meeting that was very unruly. I believe it was a church meeting. I have that up there. It was some kind of church meeting, and it was just very chaotic. And he basically vowed from then on he was going to learn the ins and outs of parliamentary procedure, and that's how Robert's Rules came about. His original book was published in 1876. We're currently using the 11th edition, which came out in 2012. If you would like a copy of the revised short version that we use, we have several copies available to be checked out. You can either see myself, our speaker, or one of our advisors. We all have access to them. Quorum is defined as 50% of your body plus one, rounded up. So if we were to have 13 House members, can someone tell me what quorum would be? 7? No, it'd be 8. You round up. If we had 25 House members, what's quorum going to be? 14. Good. All right, we're catching on. If we had 35 House members, how many is it going to be? 19, yeah, okay, so that one's got it down now. This is established by statute 458.210. This is pretty straightforward. Our Constitution is what adopts Robert's Rules. Our constitutions and our statutes are the rules that we have to abide by. Our statutes revise any not necessarily discrepancies in the Constitution, but anything that is ambiguous or needs to be added, that's where the statutes come in. These are the bills, well, really just the bills that we pass here in the House of Referendum. It doesn't affect the statutes. Here we have to use, we choose to use an agenda. That's actually not required by Robert's Rules, but it has been adopted in our statutes. Hence why we provide one to you at every meeting. Agendas can be altered. We actually saw that today where we made a friendly amendment to it. They're really just meant to facilitate the meeting, make it go as fast as possible, but they are by no means a strict guideline for how the meeting has to be ran. We went over membership. I mean, hopefully everyone knows who the members here are. You got to go through that oath process with Chris to be a member of the House. And once you are, you have voting privileges. I believe I go more into that later. On all of us vote on just about everything, except the speaker, in case, they only vote in case of a tie. There are 2 different ways we allow us to vote here at FAU, although Robert's rules defines 3. I'm going to get into that more in the presentation. Okay, yeah, this is something that needs to be covered. I move the table with a motion. So when you stand, you introduce yourself, Representative Meyer for the record. I motion, right, Chris? Yeah. No, I'm getting it wrong again. I feel like I flip-flop here. Okay, so I move the table with a motion. That's the phrase. This is like the one part I'm going to need you all to correct me on. So I move the table with the motion. You're going to stand up, introduce yourself. I move to the middle members. Yeah, that's one there. I don't know. Follow along at the meetings. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Yes.
Do we use motion? Do we use motion?
No,
We're not
because
supposed to.
motion is a noun, move is a verb.
Moving will say, I will entertain a motion.
There's a
I will
motion on
entertain a
the floor.
motion because a motion is a noun. I
But
will not
ultimately,
entertain a
you are
move.
moving.
It's weird.
Again, I struggle with that one.
So I don't know, should we say move?
Well, you can say
Yes.
motion well, okay, Emily, if you want to make a motion, you say, I move to blah, blah, blah. Like, does everybody understand what a verb and a noun is? No, I'm serious, cause like emotion, I don't mean this in a condescending way, but like emotion is the noun, move is the verb. So you're going to move to approve something, you're going to move to vote on something.
And then when that motion is in
I will
order,
entertain that motion. Does that make sense?
You can say you second that motion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
referring to the motion as a noun after it's been moved,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I agree.
Go Owls.
Go Owls. So yeah, real quick, memorize the address of the speaker. Speaker's then going to recognize them. Technically, no one should be speaking until the speaker has recognized you. Last meeting, when I had my little outburst about Robert's rules, technically, that was not in accordance with Robert's rules. So if we could avoid that, I would really appreciate it. And so, yeah, then you stand up, you introduce yourself, you're going to state your motion. It's then seconded. We then present it, ask if there's any objections. If there is, we got some intention. And then if it's good enough, we'll vote on it, see if we're going to move it or not. And yeah, that's basically it. Motions in ascending order of precedence. Only one main motion may be on the floor at a time. There are secondary motions. These are motions that alter the main motion on the floor. For example, earlier we had a motion to approve the agenda, but then when asked if there were any objections, someone motioned that we should make a change to it, add something in there. That would be a secondary motion. The original motion to accept it is a main motion. Or subsidiary motion, sorry, not secondary, subsidiary motion. Yeah, the other examples there are postpone indefinitely, limit or extend debate, lay on the table, call for questions, refer, amend, so on. Any questions so far?
Concerning the quorum, let's say you have 60 house members, right?
Yeah.
Quorum will be 32.
I'm sorry?
Quorum will be 32, right?
If you have 16 house members?
60.
Oh, if you have 60, no, it would be 31. Because 60 divided by 2 is 30 plus 1 is 1. But you don't have to round up on that. You only round up if it's odd. So like 25 divided by 2 is 12.5 plus 1, 13.5, and else is 14.
Gotcha. So let's say during the meeting, you have 60, so you have 31, right? That's the point. You have 31 members, so yes, you do have quorum for here.
Yes.
Let's say somebody leaves the
Technically, you don't have quorum. If someone's out on POP or something like that, you don't have quorum.
Do we have to stop?
It doesn't, the meeting doesn't have to stop, but we can't pass any business. That's the whole importance of quorum. Technically, if we didn't have quorum, we can still sit here and talk about a bunch of stuff, but we can't actually handle any business. We can't vote on any business. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, what could happen in that case, and like this has happened in the past, is if like the house is in danger of losing quorum, and somebody's gonna be the speaker can deny.
Okay, yeah, there we go, Julie. That's one of your powers there. You can deny POP. Probably a good idea for those coming up, you know.
Yeah.
Someone else.
I won't deny anybody their personal privileges, but
Well,
you really have to
first
go
one,
to,
let you know you
but
have
if you
time.
really have to go to the bathroom, you're not gonna do that.
So yeah, amendments, this normally deals with bills, minutes, agendas. This is just you saw an error or you want something changed. You'll, motion for a friendly amendment. If it's accepted, it goes on record as being changed. And yeah, as you can see, that's, like I said, it's generally just wording issues. If you feel something needs to be omitted, changed, anything like that, that's when you, make an amendment. Privilege motion, these are kind of like your motions that are, I mean, that's term for, it's kind of like a trump card, even if there's main motion on board, privilege motions are the ones that take precedence. And so a couple examples of the orders today: raise question of privilege, recess, adjourn, fix the time to which adjourning is. You'll also hear people ask like parliamentary inquiry or point of information. It's just a couple examples. They're the motions though that can be thrown out there at just about any given time and it'll trump whatever's going on at the moment. Incidental motion, oh, sorry, okay, so I guess I messed that one up. The incidental motion, that's the point of order, the point of information, your objections, considerations of a question, division of question, division of assembly. And these are just like it says up there. These are anytime you have a question, meetings going on, depending on the kind of question and what it pertains to, if that's going to change the motion. But, yeah. Any questions about these last two songs? Sorry, I kind of flushed them up there. No, we're all cool with it? Okay, cool. So yeah, okay, this is what I mentioned earlier in voting. Here in the House, we're only allowed to, oh no, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So yeah, like I mentioned, the chair will only vote in the case of a tie. Majority vote is normally what we need. So that'll be more than 50%. The exception to that is if we are confirming a member of the GAC, if we are voting to overrule a veto on a bill, and I believe impeachment or advisors, 2/3 for impeachment too, right? Or is it 3/4 on impeachment? If you think it's 3/4, I'm going with 3/4. It's 2/3 for impeachment? Yeah, I thought it was 3/4 for the impeachment. I'll update you. I'm pretty sure it's 3/4 though. So normally passing bills and everything, we just need half, the majority. Any of our regular business, anytime we're confirming someone or overriding a veto, so say we pass a bill and Governor Chris didn't want to sign off on it. I believe that's a 2/3 vote if we want to overturn it. And then, like I said, the last one is for impeachment, and I believe that's 3/4 vote. But I'll update you on that. Okay, so yeah, methods of voting. This is what I wanted to get to. In Robert's rules, there's actually 3 methods of voting outlined. The one that we do not allow here in student government is proxy voting. So if you are not here, you do not get a vote. All right, you can't send someone in your place. You can't give someone the power to vote on your behalf. You have to show up. This is defined, I believe, in our statutes, not our constitution. So the 2 forms of voting, most of you have probably already seen them. Earlier today, we had the vote by unanimous consent. We can do that on just about everything except legislature. Any bill or referendum that comes before us, we must have a roll call vote because all of our votes are public record. We're all officials representing the student body, and therefore the student body has a right to know which way we voted on any legislature. Pretty straightforward. Oh, and then when voting, you can vote yes, you can vote no, you can abstain if you have a conflict of interest, and it can pass, in which case we come back to you once we've gone through the roster. Any questions? No.
Can we give them like an example of conflict of interest?
If you're a member of a club, and the club's coming looking for more money or something like that, because you are a member of that club, you have to abstain. That's like the most straightforward one. And yeah.
An example, if you have a close relationship with the person that's presenting as well.
Okay, yeah.
Also abstaining from a vote because it obviously might have some personal connection to them.
The only time I've ever stayed all that I've been here is I had 3 or 4 students
Yeah, I was about to
in-house.
That really only affects you.
But, well, it's because, it's a rare thing.
Oh, yeah.
That, a relationship.
So yeah, if you happen to be a TA and you have a student show up, that's a conflict of interest too. Or, okay, so actually more, better for you guys, if your TA shows up and is asking for money or something, that is a conflict of interest because they have control over your grade, you can just abstain from that vote. Otherwise, no, I mean, it's, most of the time, there aren't too many conflicts of interest. I haven't seen it since I've been here. So legislative discussion, this is actually the part that we changed. At the legislative workshop, we originally had it set up where once we moved into new business, we would have a authorship presentation limited to 3 minutes or 2 minutes questioning, and then we would allow House members to either basically trade off on pro con, speaking either in affirmation or against a bill or piece of legislature. They also would have been held to 3 minutes, 2 minutes. We're kind of setting this up. So we want bills to be discussed actively all day Friday. Before we're even in the House, while we're at committee, we want bills being discussed. And we've been doing a good job of that so far. So the way we like this go is authors, I've kind of got bullet points here. Authors and sponsors are going to show up to the committee meetings to speak on their behalf. And then come to the House meeting. Authors and sponsors will have the opportunity to speak about their bill in an open forum. This will be their chance to address everyone, kind of give a nice blanket statement. Committee reports will be sometime after that, in which case all the committees will kind of touch on any apprehensions that were brought up during their meetings that involve the bills. Obviously, if you don't really have anything to say, it's not a requirement, but if the bills were discussed in length at your meeting, we expect you to kind of inform the rest of the House what was discussed then. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering, are they required to attend the committee on committee meeting as well, or no?
No, technically they aren't required for any of them. That's a piece of legislature we're voting on today.
Well, no,
which would be if it allocates
I mean,
funds
if we
for
were
it.
to pass that, I'm just out of curiosity, would they be required to attend that meeting?
I personally would
No, right?
say no, because we're already gonna have all the chairmen out
Okay.
there, and it would be nice maybe, give them time to come down here, talk to some House reps beforehand. It would also make the COC a more private, conversation about the bill with, the leaders of the House, where we can go over the frame.
That makes sense, I was just wondering.
Yeah, so no, I guess not.
Okay.
I didn't know before you asked that, so. So yeah, anyways, committee chairs will address any apprehensions, anything. Then we'll have a House forum, in which case anything that wasn't addressed, any new questions you have, anything can be brought up. All House members and senators here. And then last but not least, we'll finally get to new business on the agenda, and hopefully at this point, all apprehensions, grievances, and any issues with the bill that will have been aired, and that'll be the last time the author or sponsor comes up to give their true sponsorship address. Limited to 3 minutes with 2 minutes questioning. The reason for this is if anything's brought up, anything's brought up during the meeting that they would like to address, maybe, a House member had some contention to the bill, but then it turned out that they were just misreading it. This will be the author's chance to clear up any of those misconceptions. The point of this, though, is so that once we get to new business and we're on a bill, we don't want to turn it into like a 20-minute discussion like it was last time. Because, I mean, as you guys saw, the longer the discussions get, the more out of line you get with Robert's rules, the less happy I am. So we're not going to do that. So we're going to try this way out. It should be a very efficient way. Obviously, maybe we'll have a couple of bumps along the road for the first meeting or two where we've adopted this, but I believe in the system. I have faith in us. So yeah, and then last but not least, we'll go to the roll call vote. Yes, Allison.
So for clarification, the only persons that require a 3/4 vote are the justices, including the Chief Justice and Associate Justice.
And that's for their
All other
confirmation?
parties are to get 2/3.
Okay. So, and then, so,
For
impeachment.
For impeachment.
Okay, it's 2/3.
For elected officers.
Okay, well, there you go. Sure. Yeah, moving on. This isn't really gonna apply as much. Technically, when you go into a pro-con discussion, each house member is only supposed to be able to speak once until every house member's had an opportunity to express any contentions that they have. Rarely ever gonna see a day where all of us want to speak on a bill, you know, so, yeah, we aren't gonna be as strict on it. If you have something to say, we'll let you speak. All remarks are always directed at the chair unless we're in a questioning session. So if, you know, someone's up here at the podium speaking and say a question, then you direct remarks at them. Otherwise, the speaker has control of the floor. Everything's directed in their direction. And again, like I said earlier, the agenda is actually just a tentative plan. We can amend it during the meeting. It's really just to facilitate this meeting running as efficiently as possible. And this is another big slide here. How many, quick raise hands, how many people were here for the fall and spring last year, but not during the summer when I made a big deal about this? All right, so adjournment. There are 3 ways we can adjourn. There's the motion to adjourn, which I never want to see. I never want to see it. No, we're not doing that, all right? That's one of those privileged motions I talked about. You motion to adjourn and halt, or house business just comes to a halt. Not doing it, all right? The other way is if you have adopted an agenda like we have and you have it set on there, if you reach the end of the agenda, the speaker has the power to just call the meeting to adjournment. And the last is if there is a adjournment time set on the agenda. Once we reach that time, we can adjourn, even if we're in the middle of new business. The reason, yeah, go ahead.
Are we allowed to set adjournment times in student government?
Yeah, it's up to the speaker though. Go ahead.
Can we start doing that?
What, setting adjournment time? It's up to Julie, but I don't think we're gonna do that. Because realistically, we want to get through everything on the agenda.
Every meeting's different.
This is
Yeah,
Lou.
every meeting's
I think it would help keep you guys on track, keep you more accountable with your time and questions.
Yeah, but it can extend. I mean, if there's more
Yeah,
people.
I mean, again, it would be up to Julie. Really, it doesn't help you any if you're gonna go past it. It only helps you if you want to leave right at a certain time. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, with the reason I don't want to see the motions to adjourn is, like I said, it's a privileged motion. It comes to, brings everything to halt. I was part of the first church where it was really abused. We would be in the middle of informal meetings. People would just get tired of the discussion, and then they would motion to adjourn, and if half our assembly was on board with that, the meeting was over. No more business, regardless of what was on the agenda. So I don't think that would ever happen here, but just to avoid it, we'll never motion to adjourn. Julie's not even going to recognize you if you try. Okay, and then there's also the speaker has the power to tell us to stand at ease. It's basically just an informal recess during the meeting. If Julie has something to discuss with any of the exec boards or charities or something, she would tell us to stand at ease. You can have kind of a closed discussion yourself. Go ahead.
Sorry, back to moving the motion.
Yeah.
The motion, we move Julie's motions.
No.
We motion. Or no, we move.
We move.
We move.
And we move, and we refer to the movement as a motion. Does that make sense?
We ask for motions.
All these things
We move. Again, I'm really bad about that one, so I'm not as big as stick on that one. And then of course there's recesses. We've already had 2 of those, so I don't think I really need to go into that. It's basically saying, yeah, we're gonna recess for 30 minutes or we're gonna recess till 3 o'clock. Be back here at that time. We've already talked about conducting yourself in here plenty. I mean, no side chatter, cell phones away, dressed appropriately. Anything you want to add? Allison? No. Yeah, like I said, we talk about this all the time.
Out of order.
And that's it. Any questions for me?
Yeah, also, can we stop clapping after everything that happens during the meeting? It's getting kind of like, no, it's not necessary.
I will now entertain a motion to go back to Robert's Rules of Order. Moved by Sanders, seconded by Barr. Robert's Rules of Order now been reinstated. Moving into House Forum. There are 2 minutes per representative, followed by 2 minutes per question per House representative, speak during House forum. Does anyone have anything to say for House forum? Cairo.
Okay, so Representative Cairo, for the record, happy Friday. Glad to see everyone's smiling faces here, as always. So I wrote my first bill, and it's on the agenda, and I'm really excited to pass it, but there are some like formatting issues, and so reviewing this and kind of like looking at it, how the statute, yeah, if you guys want to flip through here, it's VRHB 1536, revised House absentee policy. So just through reviewing it and stuff like that, I think that I like, you know, I kind of made it, I wrote it in a way that was like made clear to me. However, it's my understanding when you do bill to amend statutes, you have to include the old statutes and then strike through what you don't want and then underline what you do want as a revision. So I didn't format it correctly. I don't want to get to Chris's desk and be like, "Oh, Cairo, you're so dumb, like veto, like no way." So I want to go ahead and, if you guys don't mind, we need to vote on this. I want to table this one to next week so I can go ahead and do it properly, submit it to you guys the right way, so that I'm not just like throwing legislation all over the place. I'll do it the right way, and then I want to make sure it's done in a proper format so that it's extremely explicitly clear as what the policy is, and yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. Sorry.
Are there any questions for Cairo? Seeing none. Oh, Antonis.
Yes, sir.
Representative Hunter Schwarger. I was wondering, do you consider doing it per semester instead of your like per session?
Per session. I did consider that, and I think that's something that we need to discuss as well during committees. I mean, I'm inclined to do it per session, just because.
Wait, what's the question?
Yeah.
Okay, I think you guys are both confused because in this, Cairo, you said that you want three House meetings during a semester.
During a semester. Did I say session?
Yeah.
Semester.
Oh, okay. He's saying session 2, but you're agreeing with him. I don't think you're catching on.
Yeah.
So his policy would be 3 absences per semester.
Okay.
Fall and spring, right? Not the entire year.
Okay.
Okay, follow up, Antonis.
Okay, yeah.
First semester, not per
First
session.
semester.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I got my words confused when I spoke earlier and I was talking about, I have to worry again.
Okay, are there any other questions, Jenkins?
I have one. Would this be a resolution instead of a bill since there's no money?
No, it's altering the statutes.
A resolution is like a formal statement, kind of like just like saying, okay, we agree on this, like ideologically, a bill, like things happen in it. So it's usually like change the bill.
Are there any other questions for Cairo? Seeing none, thank you, Cairo. Meyer?
All right, so real quick, just touching on what Speaker Pro Tem Cairo was just mentioning, I am probably going to be bringing the bill to the House next week that will alter our process for submitting bills. I hope to have bills submitted to me as parliamentarian also on Wednesdays so that any revision issues can be corrected between Wednesday and Friday, and that way the bills are all set to go during our committee meetings, hopefully. And I yield the rest of my time for questions.
Are there any questions for Meyer? Seeing none, thank you. Darren?
Yeah, but I want it to be an official part of the process. So like even when I'm gone. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Annie and I'm the author for VRHC 1503, allocating funds, and I'm here to speak on behalf of the bill. And my meeting as well, this is my first bill, but there are some stuff that I mean, in terms of like to write it properly, you have to put in all the old statutes like government, and then you have to go through it and put in your own. But I don't want anybody to think that this is rushed. I've been working on this bill since like the spring. So I've talked to COSO. I've also talked with Aaron, one of the advisors during the summer over this bill. I also went to Cairo with this bill because it did not get passed in the spring, although did get voted on. So, yeah, this is something, this is like my baby. If I get, this is my, legislative baby. I'm really proud of that bill. But I just want to highlight what it says. It's, when organization comes forward and they're requesting for money. First, they get funding from COSO, and they're also eligible to apply for emergency funding. This says like after they ask COSO for funds and they got rejected, they can come to the House afterwards, of course, and then also to present their fiscal year budget, so we know what exactly they spent their money on. And then the House pretty much is supposed to co-sponsor events. So 50% of the budget for the event must be funded by the organization themselves or private fundraising or sponsorship. If they're requesting for more than $1,000, for $1,000 or more, for 40% of the overall budget, they must bring it forward. It must be funded by the organization themselves or private funding or sponsorship. I kind of repeated myself on that one. And there must be a minimum of 2 authors. One of the authors have to go to Ways and Means. That's the committee that handles any monetary bill. And then, that's pretty much like a highlight of the bill. So if you guys have any questions, they might have to question me.
Are there any questions for Chairwoman Barron? Seeing none, thank you, Amy. Okay, moving into committee chair reports. Can we start with Campus Action Chairwoman Marianne Alex?
Representative Alex for the record. Happy homecoming, guys. I just wanted to say that in our committee, we talked about Annie's bill, and we all agreed that authors should be present at all committee meetings just to push the House meetings go a bit faster because it's a Friday afternoon. We all want to start our weekends. Anyway, so what else we talked about today was someone from the food trucks I mentioned last week came to talk to us again. They so far have talked to Poor Boys and Health Nut to come and have food trucks on campus. So if you're interested in joining your committee, see me after the meeting and I can deliver your email. Today I appointed Jackson Travis as my vice chair. All right, next. Okay, so Owl is coming up April 2nd through the 3rd, and I want the House to be more involved in just giving money to Owlthon. I know a lot of us are in fraternities and sororities, but I think the House should have its own team as well. Okay, so this week I made a suggestion box. And I know we have 2 suggestion boxes on campus, however, the students don't know about it. So this one's portable and we can carry it around campus. And I'm gonna have my committee sign up for shifts to go talk to students on campus. We also, this week we made, we started a video series educating students on what student government does and like where governor is, where president is.
15 seconds and then you're using your question, Tom.
Okay, and just using like ANSPs. Also just talk to people about like joining the House because I want a full House.
Are there any questions for Marianne Sanders?
Representative Sanders for the record. Okay, did you look into the idea of having an electronic suggestion box?
No, I did not.
The one with Nina?
No, that was just,
oh,
yeah, okay.
Follow up, Sanders?
And did you mention something that your committee suggested you got an author should be present in all committees or just Ways and Means in Annie's bill? Did you mention something about today in your committee meeting? Did you guys come to the conclusion that you would like an author to be present in all 3 committee meetings or just Ways and Means because it just says Ways and Means to be over as it is?
Oh, yeah. I don't actually be specified.
Thank you.
I think we would clarify, like, questions. And I mean, all bills don't necessarily have to go just to Ways and Means. So if it like affects the student body completely, then they should be present at the campus action.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions for Mary Ann Stern?
Everything, just for the record, where is the location of the physical suggestion box? It's on here.
I actually don't know. Like, I think there's one in the student union.
No, there's the second floor of the
Allison.
breezeway. Second floor of the breezeway.
So I have heard of this. Okay, so I'm not sure about the physical location of suggestion boxes. However, if you go to edu.edu/SG, you can actually go and do an electronic suggestion as well.
Well, what I was saying is that like, students aren't gonna physically go to a suggestion box on campus or like take the time out of their day to go online, find it, whatever. So if it's there and like we're there with a paper and pen just asking them, I'm sure like they'll take the 5 seconds it takes to write what's going on in their mind.
They have a phone too, you can just keep it out or an iPad if we have one.
So just,
in our office.
just going out and like talking to people.
All right, are there any other questions for Representative Alex? Seeing none, thank you. Now going into the report of Ways and Means Chairman Mark Sanders.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, I know you too.
Representative Sanders for the record. Today in our meeting, the main purpose of our meeting was obviously going over legislation, and I know both of those are not up for vote as it sounds today. However, as a committee, we agreed that once it's written properly, I think they're fantastic ideas, and we fully support both of those. And then the other purpose of today's meeting was kind of establishing a guideline and more of a protocol to avoid situations like what happened last week when it comes to who we fund, how we fund. I know it's in our statutes and we can only use A&S fees for certain things, which we did cover, and if anyone else would like me to cover that with them, I'm more than happy to. Meet with me afterwards. But basically, yeah, it was a very productive meeting, and I think the committee has a better understanding of who we would like to fund in situations like last week. And I yield the rest of my time to question.
Are there any other questions for Chairman Mark Sanders? Seeing none, thank you. Moving into the report for Chairwoman Annie Barron, Rules and Policies Chair.
Hi everyone, me again. So in my meeting, we're pretty much all on consensus that the attendance policy was more than fair. The high room, we thought that it was more than fair, especially taking into account that you're able to have as many absence as you are able to provide documentation for, and it's approved by the students here, of course. And I didn't think no one raised any concerns about the procedure that I'd like to add on for when organizations are coming to request funding. The one thing that I did include is I'm going to table it as well, because in their press result, whereas Harold just informed me, it's pretty much saying this is what we'd like to be voted for as a result of the actual action. I know Josh touched on it with me, but I would have to write them differently and take it explicitly on another attachment or something. So it'll be tabled for next week. Sad face. In terms of the election subcommittee, so we brainstormed yesterday at 3:45. We have a couple of good ideas, but I don't want to come here and then say this is what we're going to move on, because nothing was set in stone yet. Until we're extremely confident in what direction we want to go with this, you'll hear much more from me. So I attended the GAT meeting this morning. I'm super happy. I only have nothing but positive feedback, especially in terms of Koso, the marketing director, and night owls. I really look forward as to like how us and the Roads and Policy Committee can be instrumental to the GAC, so we can like work more together and make sure that everybody procedure is respected and how we can help each other out. So that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie. Are there any questions for Annie? Wait. Any questions? Seeing none, thank you. Moving into the chair report for Budget Chair Kyle McDonald, do you have a report this week?
Yeah, sure. Representative McDonald, for the record. I don't have too much to say, just that we're looking to set an initial meeting for the CBAC just in the fall, just to make sure, meet with all the committee members, make sure they all know each other well, and just to really familiarize them with the activities and services fees, how they're supposed to be used, and just the CBAC process as a whole. I'm just going to do that so that when the time comes in January, they'll just kind of feel comfortable with the whole process, and that way we'll be ready to determine all the allocation amounts for the voting campus. And I'll give the rest of my time for questions.
Are there any questions for McDonald? Sanders?
Representative Sanders, have you gotten an updated schedule on everyone's in the committee?
I have not. So yes, if
When would you like that by?
as soon as possible, yes, if you're in the committee members, I need your schedules because I want to make it so that you guys can all be available and be able to attend the meetings. So I need that from my committee members as soon as possible.
Let's do that after class registration for spring.
Yeah, I know, but I just wanted to.
Oh, through this semester?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. So I'll get those eventually.
Okay, are there any other questions for Chairman McDonald? Seeing none, thank you. Moving into the Speaker Pro Tempore report for Committee on Committee.
Sure. Representative Cairo, for the record. Yeah, everything's gone pretty well in the committees. I think we're starting to really kind of get our, I guess, footing. We know what we're doing. You know, everyone's kind of getting more comfortable with each other. I went out with Mary Ann the past couple of days, and we went out and recorded some stuff for her campus action videos, which are going really well. Annie has been going, and Stephen as well, are going with the election subcommittee, and that's been going really well. We added the little task and accountability sheets. Those are now on their Google Drives as well as Google Sheets, so they're hard copied down online. And yeah, I guess just going back to my bill, I guess I just wanted to say I'm sorry for wasting y'all's time. It's basically what we're doing by putting it on the agenda, and I'm gonna make it right as soon as possible. Working with the parliamentarian, we're gonna talk about it a little bit more in the committees, and you know, I yield my time for questions.
Are there any questions for Cairo? Stern?
Representative Stern, for the record, you said you mentioned that you and Marianne had created videos, am I correct? Where can we find those videos on?
That's the thing. Okay, what she's doing is she's making a video series online. We just filmed it, so it hasn't been edited, it hasn't been posted. They're actually on my phone as of right now. Because be surprised, the iPhone 6 was like really high quality videos. We borrowed from LTV, I think it was. There was an issue with the memory card. We went with the director of photography, Logan Penrod, and it wasn't really working out. So I was like, you know what, pull my phone out and just not make it happen. So we're working on getting those over to Nina, or I'm gonna edit them myself, whatever we decided to do more easier way. But yeah, she got the ball rolling on that thing. It was a good initiative that she had, and she's ready to go. Killing it.
Are there any other questions for Cairo? Seeing none, thank you.
Thanks, all.
Okay, moving into vetoed business, we have none. Tabled business, none. Old business, none. Moving into BRHB 15-35, Meyer.
Representative Meyer, for the record, I move to table BRHB 1535.
There's been a motion to table BRHB 1535 until next week. Is there a second? Seconded by Holmes. Are there any objections? Seeing none, BRHB 15-35 has been tabled till next week. Okay, moving into BRHB 15-36, Cairo.
Representative Cairo, for the record, I move to table BRHB 36, revised House absentee policy, until next week.
Is there a second? Seconded by Wise. Are there any objections? Seeing none, BRHB 15-36 has been tabled to next week. Moving into my report, I finally, not finally, it's been 3 weeks. I came up with a legislative agenda for the 10th legislative session after meeting with Cairo and meeting with the different committee chairs. So I want to send this in an email because it's getting late and it's almost the weekend. So some really like the cooler things that I want to talk about are some ideas from Campus Action, including our program called Borough Bikes, which is we're hoping to do a bike rental program on campus. We're going to be gathering opinions to bring to Rally and Tally to show to Florida state officials regarding the concealed carry law that's being passed that could potentially allow college students to have concealed weapons on campus. So we're going to be surveying for opinions on that to bring up to Tallahassee. Repainting that yellow structure that's behind the SO building because it's rusted and it's not very pretty. So something else we're looking at is the election subcommittee for rules and policies. Encouraging accountability for student orgs requesting funding, which we've seen in action with Annie's bill. Yes.
Evan, can I get you to put your phone away? Appreciate it.
And then something big that's more of a long-term goal of mine, I spoke about this during my election speak, is restructuring the House. Right now it's in the exploratory stages, but I want to establish an ad hoc committee joint between Rules and Policies and Campus Action to explore the possibility of restructuring the House based off of the different systems in the state of Florida, how they do the different colleges and organizations to each have a rep present, and then changing the attendance policy, which Cairo is already working on, getting a feel for who we fund and when we fund them, basically coming up, which Sanders did today in his meeting, getting a general feeling of how the House is going to be allocating our money. Do we want to focus more on student organizations or student programs, or building the school, building traditions, stuff like that. And then for the House, some big things that I wanna constantly keep in mind is retention. I would like to have the House at least 50 members at all times. So right now, I believe we're going to be at like 43 with these new people that we have, and we have a few more already for next week. So I think we're gonna be reaching that goal pretty soon. Visiting different organizations to get House reps in. Cairo and I are going to the Black Student Union next Tuesday at 3:30 to advertise vacant seats in the House to them. Having legislative workshops. So we have a bill writing workshop next Friday at 11 p.m. I'll announce that again. 11 a.m. At 11 a.m. Yeah, 11 p.m. That makes sense. All right. Yeah, next Friday at 11 a.m. we're gonna have a bill writing workshop, so I'll announce that later. Having chair email accounts to increase accountability and more fluid movement between the different chairs, and then like making the legislative assistant position more of an established position, kind of having him or her be the technological expert of the House and social media liaison with the rest of student government. That was like super brief, and I'll send that out to you in an email, and you can see what's a priority, what's not a priority, long-term, short-term goals, all that stuff. FSA last weekend was really great. I got to meet with the different presidents and vice presidents of the other universities and see what issues they're working on and what programs they have at their universities, and seeing what makes sense at FAU and what doesn't. For example, that's where I got the idea of the concealed carry opinions, because UNF already had the data done. They came to the meeting like, yeah, 60% opposed. And it was like almost like embarrassing that we didn't have those numbers. So now I'm able to bring that back to Mary Ann, who's going to be getting those numbers hopefully this or next week. So, okay. Moving into, are there any questions for me? Any questions? Seeing that, Stern.
Representative for the record,
Mhm.
where will this bill writing workshop be held?
Yeah, I'm going to get into that in my announcements and reminders. So moving into announcements and reminders, the next House meeting will be November 6, 2015 at 3:30 p.m. here in the House chambers. Committee meetings will be also next Friday, November 6, 2015, campus action meeting at 12, Ways and Means at 1, Rules and Policies 2, COC at 3, in the Student Government Boardroom. The bill writing workshop will be held by our PAC Legislative Director, Clayton. He will be holding it in the Student Government Boardroom next Friday, November 6th at 11 a.m. I'll be there as well. So I really encourage you all to go out to this because for starters, you do get a service hour for being there if you decide to go. And that's the best way to learn how to write a bill the proper way. And you'll be able to meet some really awesome people who will be willing to meet with you at any point throughout the week to help you write these bills. Like there's this person, Clayton, it's his job outline is to help House reps and senators write bills. So again, that's next Friday, 11 a.m., not p.m., in the SG boardroom. So, Secretary, will you please take final roll?
Alex. Present. Ash. Barr.
Present.
Martinez.
Present.
Aaron. Present. Blount. Bullock.
Present.
Tyra.
Present.
Owen. Present. Dunn. Rosier.
Present.
Etcheberry. Present. Fontaine.
Present.
Fletcher.
Present.
Clearwell.
Present.
Frost. Grunberg.
Present.
Ham.
Present.
Hara.
Present.
Herman. Present. Holmes.
Present.
Jenkins. Present. Duras. Kelman. Present. Kennemore.
Present.
Wallace. Present. McDonald.
Present.
Meyer.
Present.
Benoit. Nicholas. Present. Noel Williams. Roebling.
Present.
Rosa.
Present.
Sanders.
Present.
Small. Present. Soto. Stone. Stern.
Present.
Teicher. Travis. Vega. Wise. Walters.
Present. I hereby call this meeting to close at 5:14 p.m.
All right. That was a good meeting. I filled it today, yeah.
Julie. Yes.